ahead and get started. And what I'd like to do first is to generate a little bit of heat or fire within a region of the chest and the lungs, and to release some of any tension or tightness or restrictions that we might have in our bronchial region. So this is the Ganesha Mudra. Remember that in our gentle yoga class, we were chanting a few mantras, and I think the first one we did together was the Ganesha Mantra. It's hard to chant our mantra together on a Zoom, but we can certainly do this mudra together. So I'll just mirror you so that it'll look okay. But the Ganesha Mantra or Mudra, you take your right hand, place the back of your right hand in front of your heart center, so your elbow is lifted. And then you take the left hand in front and you clasp your fingers like this. Your hands are next to your heart center. So we take an inhalation, and on the exhalation, you're going to pull like you're trying to break your fingers apart, but you don't. And then you inhale, release. We'll do 3. Exhale, pull. Inhale, release. Exhale, pull. And then we'll switch the placement or position of your hands. So now you turn the left hand, palm forward, clasp the fingers together. Inhale, it relaxes. Exhale, pull. And as you pull, you can feel the tense and tightness within the arms and the chest. Inhale. Exhale, pull. And one more. And you can also feel the tightness in the upper back region as you pull. Exhale, pull. And then release. And then you can feel maybe some sensations within this whole upper region of blood and lymph moving around, blood, lymph, and breath. So this Ganesha Mudra helps to strengthen the heart, the physical heart muscle, and the energetic heart center, as well as it helps our bronchioles be healthier. It helps us to gain strength and courage and confidence. Which is something that is really important for us during these times, is courage and confidence. So, but now we're going to sit with the legs crossed or virasana, whatever is your favorite mode of sitting. But do sit so the spine is tall, you're well supported, so that your lumbar spine is moving slightly inward. Roll your arms back and let the chest lift gently. Let this area of your chest broaden horizontally to help open the heart center. Root down with the pelvic bones. Lift the low belly. Let the back of your skull rise up and the front of your skull drop slightly. Focus on your breath for a moment. Terry Brown has been sharing in his classes this week the words that are helping him. And he says, please use these words or find others that will also help you and me. So his words, I breathe in, I'm well. I breathe out, I'm at peace. So as he said in his class yesterday, maybe these words work well for you. Maybe you can create your own words or pick your own words or feelings that help you feel at ease in each moment. And it is about connecting to the present moment. That moment within us where we can hear and feel our heartbeat. We can feel our pulse. we feel and we can hear the breath. And we can feel and hear our own inner awareness. And what I mean by hear is that deep listening. So then join the two palms together in front of your heart center. Allow the back of your skull to lift gently and the front of your skull to drop gently. Pausing in the breath. What we have is the breath in this very moment. And then inhale, lift your gaze. And we'll start like we did last week. We'll bring the hands here to the upper region of our arm bones. We're just doing a little rocking side to side. And this gentle rocking effect is so wonderful for the nervous system. It's sort of like giving yourself a little hug while you're rocking. It's really quite nice. And then you can add the motions of your hands. You can pat. That's also calming and soothing. As you rock gently side to side, you do this little patting with your hands. Everything's okay. I'm rocking myself. I feel peaceful. I feel calm. And all those feelings that you want to feel inside of you, you can say those words as you do maybe a practice like this. I feel confident that all will be fine. I am courageous with each step. I am peaceful. I am calm. And then we're going to come back to the center and release your arms down. And just pause there for a moment. Roll your shoulders back. And then lift the arms up, and we'll give a little stretch to our arms here. Interlace your fingers and turn the palms upward, or either holding onto your strap or just reach the fingertips upward, stretching up through the inner arm, the outer arm, and the back of your arm. Let your chin drop gently towards your chest. Feel that nice opening on the back of your neck. Again, lifting your low belly gently without forcing. And then inhale, lift your gaze, take the arms out to the sides. Now we're going to press the arms out to the sides, reaching out with a thumb mound a little more. Yeah. And as you do this, you might feel that nice stretch across the bottom of your arm, the underneath side of your arms. Bring your arms into the goalpost position here. Let the shoulder blades drop downward. Inhale. And on your exhalation, we're going to twist over to your right. You can do this closed pelvis twist or this open pelvis twist. Martha Garrett shared this with us one day, which I love, this open pelvis twist when we feel a bit tense or tight in the morning, and which one feels best for you. Inhale, lift again, and on your exhalation, travel all the way over to the other side, your left side. And notice here that my gaze is forward. I like to keep my gaze forward when I'm doing my twist. It feels better for things that I have going on in my neck, which are getting so much better every day with including a few modifications. Inhale, lift, exhale, come back to the center. So let's just stretch our legs out for a moment. Oh, that feels good. Press your thighs gently down to the floor as you stretch your heels away from you. All right, here we go. I'm going to lie down on your back. Okay, so lie down on your back. And if I didn't mention having blocks, we'll worry about that shortly. And hopefully you can hear me. Okay? So if you can hear me okay from over here, will you raise your hand? All right, good. All right, good. All right, and then go ahead and lie down on your back. I'll go ahead and take my socks off. Stretch your legs out. Just pausing here for a moment. Scooting your shoulder blades underneath you. Scooting the shoulders underneath. Maybe a little bit of rocking of your shoulders side to side. So, yeah, you're rocking maybe one shoulder up and then the opposite. So just a little rocking of the upper body. Okay. And then from there, you can rock the lower body. So you take the pelvis and you just rock it side to side. And then you take and you rock the feet side to side, like a windshield wiper feet, right? Just rock. And then maybe you could rock shoulders and pelvis and feet. You can do that slowly or you can do it kind of quick. And just notice how that feels for you. So it's a nice way of sort of just letting the body wash and let everything go. And then from here, you're going to slide the right knee out to the side. The right foot slides up towards the pelvis like you're doing a tree pose on your back. And then you slide it back out. Your arms can be out to the sides or down by your sides. And then you slide the opposite one up. And this, you're just gently sliding the foot up into like a tree pose, the knee out to the side. So you're doing that external rotation of your thigh bone, hip, and then the other side. Okay? So it's not about how high you can come up. It's about what feels good and what feels comfortable. So we're just waking up the hip joints, bringing some blood flow into the hip joints. So I think we all know that when we bring blood in to the joints or to the tissues in the body, that also brings in oxygen. And when oxygen comes in, pain goes out. Maybe not immediately, but when we are oxygen deprived, when there's tissues or joints that are oxygen deprived, pain will set in. So just remember, moving is just awesome because it keeps the blood and the oxygen, the breath flowing, right? And then once you do that left side, it comes back out. Just pause and relax and feel. Now just notice how your hip joints feel. You can even take your palms and place them on tops of your hip joints and feel the warmth of your hands on that region, and maybe give some gratitude for our hip joints because they really do a lot for us, right? So now bend both knees, placing the feet on the floor, and the arms can be out to the sides. We're in a goalpost position, and then just gently rock your knees a little side to side. Now we get to massage our sacrum and our lower back region. I like to pull my toes up when I'm doing this because then if you pull your toes up, go ahead and do that, see how it feels for you. When I pull the toes up and spread them as I rock the knees a little side to side, I feel the plantar fascia, that connective tissue on the soles of my feet, stretching a little bit too. That's kind of nice, a little addition, right? And then from there, let your feet plant on the floor about hip distance apart, right? Either keeping your arms to the sides. Now, if you can come into goal pose with both forearms flat on the floor, that's fine. But if they're hanging up in the air like this, you can look if you want to do that. That might cause some strain in your shoulders and your neck. So just have the arms wider, okay?
If you can interlace the fingers behind your head comfortably, do that. But be in a place where you are comfortable and you're not in a place of pain. If your arms are out to the sides or in goal post, you will ignore the cue for scooping your head up, okay? All right, so let's actually do this one together. Let's have the arms in goal post or out to the sides. Inhale, arch your low back, so it's the reverse cat and cow. And exhale, round the low back towards the earth or floor. Inhale, as you arch the low back, the belly expands upward, the pelvis rocks forward. As you exhale, the pelvis rocks back, the belly moves down towards the spine, and the spine moves towards the floor or the earth. And we'll continue. Inhaling, exhaling. It's a gentle rocking of the pelvis, but also a gentle rocking of your cranium, your skull. As you inhale, your chin naturally moves towards your chest. And as you exhale, your chin naturally lifts up towards the ceiling. So it's this very gentle, nice rocking, this gentle rocking of pelvis and skull, lifting of spine and belly, and movement of your diaphragm. This is really a nice way to also engage the muscles of your pelvic floor. And then we'll just pause. Bring your arms back down by your sides. Slide your legs back out and pause there. Okay, let's do this one more thing. I got my notes with me because the request was to do what we did last week. So I'm doing some of what we did last week and a couple of add-ons or subtractions, right? All right. So bring your arms straight up towards the ceiling. Reach your fingertips way up so you feel the shoulders lifting off the floor. And that just gives a little bit of stretching to the upper back. And then clasp your elbows like this. Keep your knees bent, feet about hip distance apart. And then inhale here. And on your exhalation, just slide your elbows over to the right and rotate your head to the left. On your inhalation, come back to the starting point. And on your exhalation, go to the other side. And you're just coming up. Dropping over, the head rotates to the opposite side. And we just keep going this way. This is a very gentle way, helping range of motion in our neck spine, our cervical spine. It helps to create a little mobility in our shoulders and upper back. And because we're using the breath, it's keeping us in contact with our present awareness. This movement is also a very good calming movement. And it also helps to break up any adhesions around the neck and the shoulder juncture. And when you come back up to the starting point, just release your arms down by your sides and keep your knees bent here. Pause and feel. So much of our days, I don't know about now, but we're rushing and moving from one thing to the other quite hurriedly. But it's important to pause and feel in our yoga practice, but also in our daily lives. So we are in a place of pausing and feeling, right? Let's go ahead and find your yoga belt or your strap or whatever you're using, maybe a tie or a robe belt or a towel even. And then pick your right leg up and put the strap at the head of your heel. You can either practice with your left knee bent or you can take your left leg out straight. So how do you know? Well, if you take a leg out straight and it does this kind of thing, you know, it distorts your whole body, then it's probably better to practice with your knee bent. If your leg comes way down here somewhere, that's a little straining too for your body. So you might want to practice with the opposite knee bent. Or if you have back pain or hip pain. So now we're in the pose, the Supta Padangusthasana, this big toe pose. So reach up with your heel and spread your toes. Gently squeeze your front thigh muscles, and that allows the release of your hamstrings. That reciprocal inhibition that you've heard 1,000 times. Let that outer hip move around towards the wall in front of you, if you have a wall in front of you. Some of us are lucky enough to be at the beach, right? So you can move it towards the ocean. Okay, let's switch sides. You can do that mid-air switch. And then same thing here on this side. If you want to practice with the opposite leg, the right leg out, do. If you prefer to have the knee bent, that is fine too. And then stretch up through the heel. Squeeze your front thigh muscles, spread your toes, and roll the outer hip towards the wall in front of you. And that just helps to release the side waist, and it keeps us from crunching in on the side so much. Yeah, creating space. That's what we want to do, create space. Let your breath be soft, your throat be soft, and let your eyes be soft. We're going to switch back over to the right side. You can do that mid-air switch again. Now, let's all keep the left knee bent for this next one. This is our inner thigh release. So first, we'll drop the left knee over to the left, and now take the right leg to the right. And the left arm can be stretched out away from you with your palm facing upward. If you hold your head, you look up, you have some equal space between the two legs. I'm going to do what Terry's been doing and turn around this way so you can sort of see how the pelvis is equal here. You know, the two thighs are equal. It's not, sometimes we do this and this is what happens. This is very nice. And reach out with your heel, spread your toes, let your throat be soft. Inhale. On your exhalation, you're going to use your right arm and help your right leg up, and then bring the left knee up. All right? I'm going to flip over, back over to the mat. And now, mid-air switch, go to your left leg. Right knee's bent. Hold the straps in your left hand. Drop your right knee to the side. Take your left leg to the left. I love it when we do the two sides, when we have a bilateral pose, because you have such a wonderful opportunity to visit a place. They're not the same. They're different. And to me, that is like exploring a new land or something. It just amazes me. And I find it quite interesting. And so I used to look at it like, oh, why is it so different? But now I look at it as, wow, this is amazing. I wonder what it is. Yeah. So inhale. On your exhalation, help your left leg up. Bring the right knee back up. And then we're just going to release and stretch both legs out. Bring your arms down by your sides. We're going to pause there. Take a few breaths in. Bend your knees. Roll on to either side, what feels good for you today. And then slowly press up. And let your head drop heavy as you come up. Whew. Everybody okay? Then you have to kind of fix your hair a little bit. Yep. If you're at the beach, though, you might be windblown. All right. So let's go ahead and fold our blanket up if you had a blanket down. And let's make a little knee pad, as Martha calls it. Or your little knee support if you need it. You may not need it at home. You might be on carpet. But I like a little knee pad.
And then go ahead, if you have your yoga blocks or a chair, or you have books that you're using, have those nearby. We'll need those shortly for a couple of lunges. All right. And then coming into this table pose or all four pose position. So if you have any tightness or tension in your wrist, you could take the hand slightly forward like that, and that takes a little of the pressure off. You could roll your mat up, place your palms on the mat and your fingers down below. All right, or you could roll a blanket or fold a blanket up. Okay? So, but from here, or you could, since we're doing cat and cow, you could lie back down on your back and do the reverse cat and cow that we just did. So let your arms be nice and strong, engage, press down through the finger pads and lengthen the fingers forward. Tuck your toes or untuck. I like my toes tucked. I take this opportunity to stretch my toes, reaching the heels back. Take a nice inhalation here, full breath, and exhale, round your spine upward. And then inhaling, arching your spine. Exhaling, rounding upward. And now let's do a few rounds of those cat and cow. Now we'll come into a neutral position. I'm just going to gentle rock side to side this way. Remember earlier we were lying on our back and we were rocking a little side to side. This is very stabilizing for your shoulder joints. And then rock a little forward and a little back. So it's not a huge rocking, it's just a little forward and a little back. And you can feel this in your shoulder joints. You might feel it in your wrist and your elbows. And in the back body, you feel it maybe in your knees, in the hip joints, the spine. And then we do a little figure eight. So you could do, you know, you can make that any motion you want, really. It's just a little bit of movement, just to get a little fluidity in the body. Yeah, I think this is the one where I think Martha Garrett calls this Robo Kitty. So we'll honor that and call it Robo Kitty. Well, it's getting kind of funky with the kitty cat, right? All right. Now, to help stabilize our spine, or to help the strength of the stabilize our muscles around the spine, we'll do the balancing cat. So stretch your right leg out, touch the toes down, reach that heel back, and take that opportunity to get a nice stretch. And then lift the leg up so it's pelvic level. You can reach the opposite hand back and see if the pelvis is level, or is it hiked up like that? Okay? Toes can point back, or heel can point back. I like to do sort of this way, where the ball of the foot is reaching back. And then the opposite arm goes up. The gaze down, head not dropping. The head is actually in line with your arm that's extending outward. So when we do this pose, you might be a little shaky, and that's okay, because that means all the muscles that are working, that you feel shaking, are working to get stronger. And then release. And let's go to the other side. Stretch out through the left leg, toes. Press the heel back. Feel the stretch on the back of your leg and calf. Then lift it up to pelvis level. And then opposite arm out. Notice one side's a little different than the other, right? Yes, there's a little more shaking going on one side. That's okay. That's just valuable information. It teaches us that, you know, there's things that are not always going to be completely balanced, and it's okay to be that. And then let's do the other side one more time. And opposite side one more time. Then release and child's pose. All right. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders and then go ahead and come up to standing. Oh, okay, we're vertical. Oh, we forgot lunges, right? You didn't forget. I forget. Guess what? It's just like being back in class. I'm forgetful, right? So sorry to do this to you, but I think it's important that we do include our lunges. So let's come back down. It's kind of nice to get up and down, right? And then bring your blocks onto your mat. I like mine on the high setting. And then step your right foot forward, bringing the ankle joint and the knee joint in alignment. So your shin is perpendicular to the floor. And we'll pause here in this first lunge. Just pausing, watching, waiting, listening. That's another one of my teachers says, watch, wait, and listen. And that's TS. And then stretch back, do the opposite leg, take the other leg forward. So we watch, wait, and listen. We're feeling, noticing how the two sides feel. And then go back to the other side again. All right. From this one, let's do this one next. Bring your hands to your thigh. You could have one hand still on the block, or you could bring both hands to the thigh. That's going to challenge your balance a little bit. And then you press the hands to the thigh and lift your torso a little more. I'm going to switch sides so you can see a better explaining view. So when we come a little higher, we increase the distance from our pubic bone to our collarbones, allowing a little more opening on the hip flexor region, which is what we're looking for right now in this moment. We get a little closer into the psoas, which is hard to do when we're here. Okay. Switch sides. So now you'll have your left foot forward and your right leg back. Hands come to your thigh, and we do this pausing in the pose for a moment. You could take the opportunity here. I am taking the opportunity to take a few moments in the pose. I breathe in, I'm well. I breathe out, I'm at peace, right? Reminding ourselves constantly, of these things that keep us in contact with our inner awareness. And then come down, switch sides one more time. Right foot comes forward, ankle joint, knee joint. Okay, here we go. Now this one is a little more intense, as you will feel. So tuck your back toes, lift your knee a little, and scoot the knee back just a touch. Are you ready? Now keep your left toes tucked. And when I say lift the thigh, try not to lift your hip like that, okay? Try to lift the thigh only. Woo, that's completely different. So you notice here my knee doesn't look all the way straight as it might there, right? But my hip is down. So I'm getting a better release of the hip flexors. Press the heel back, and maybe you can move the right knee forward. And if you can't lift your knee, just stay in the lower lunge. You're still getting so much benefit. Are you feeling it? Okay, I don't hear you. All right, and then switch sides. The left foot forward, do the alignment, tuck your toes, keep the hips heavy, lift just the right thigh, press the right heel back, and move the left knee gently forward. Keep your chest lifted gently, shoulder blades down your back, your breath. Your eyes and your throat all soft. And then release. I think we should do another child's pose after that one, don't you? All right, let's do. Slide your hands under your shoulders. Break is over. And then now we come to standing. So let's go ahead and have your strap handy so that we can do our chest expander. And remember last week I showed you the lymph drainage map so that I'll walk closer. So you can Google that if you haven't already. Now, and that'll give you the directions that your lymph flows in, right? So as I said last week, when if you weren't here, it's okay. But you can use a tapping motion, or you could use a sweeping motion with your hands. Better yet, get a little brush, natural bristles, and you very lightly do the body before you shower, okay? So we'll start at the feet. You can either sit in a chair or you can stand. If you sit in a chair, that's fine. You could start at the feet and either do the brushing technique straight up the body, everything coming up to this region, and then you brush down. And at the arms, you start at your fingers. And the side body, you come up. So this releases toxins, increases circulation, increases the movement of lymph and blood. And then for the face is down. You'll see this on your map when you Google. And it comes down this way, you see? All right. Now, if you're standing, so now I'll do the tapping motion. But again, you can do either tapping or brushing or use natural bristle brushes to do the same. So if I want to do the tapping, it also generates the movement of lymph. So you just gently tap, but you move in the direction of the lymph, which you'll see on your map. All right, now the back body's a little different, but again, please Google that so you get a better understanding of the directions of the lymph flow movement pattern, the drainage map. And so if we had a lot of time, maybe we could do a class in the near future on just lymph, okay? So if you're interested in that, I'll be happy to arrange that for you. All right, so but now let's move on. And does that feel pretty good? When I do it, I feel like, oh, yeah, it feels good. Okay, so but let's go ahead and do some movement for our shoulders. So let's make a loop if you have a belt. And you don't have to, have a belt and make a loop. If you want, you can. I kind of like it. And if you're making a loop, though, for those folks making a loop, just have a loop about the distance of the width of your shoulders. Okay? If you're not making a loop, no worries. I'll teach you that one in a sec. If you're making a loop, bring it behind you, slide your hands in the loop at your wrist joint, like that. You see? Everybody see that? And my palms are facing each other. Now, if you're not making a loop, or if you don't have a belt that makes a loop, no worries. You take the strap, you hold it with the palms down or palms facing forward, like this. You see? So either one works. I just like using a loop, and I'm just giving you that option. Having your feet a little wider than hips, like mine are now, creates a little bit wider base of support for your body and for you. And it's a little better for balance, and you're not trying to like lift your arms and balance at the same time, which will be good, but we'll do that at a different time. So from here, press down through the four corners of your feet, Tadasana. Lift the low belly gently upward. Let your heart shine by broadening the front of your chest. And then roll your shoulders back, shoulder blades down your back. Gently squeeze the shoulder blades together. And then from there, try not to do the banana pose today. Keep the body in Tadasana. And begin to take the arms up and away from your body. Let your chin drop very gently towards your chest. So, pressing down through the four corners of your feet, firming your quadriceps, lifting your low belly gently. Shoulder blades down your back. Lift your chest, lift your arms, and let your chin gently drop. Whatever you're feeling, breathing into that. And washing yourself with loving awareness, loving kindness, and ahimsa, non-harming. Inhale, lift your gaze, lower your arms. That felt really good. Okay. So now if you have whatever strap or whatever you're using for a strap, you're going to place that over your right shoulder. Bring your right arm up, reach it behind you, hold on to your strap, and reach the elbow upward. You can use this arm to help lift it a little more. Your head stays in neutral, so it's not curving or dropping or lifting or turning. Okay? The opposite arm, your left arm, comes out to the side. You reach it behind you, and you begin to walk up the strap, and you got it. Now I'm going to turn around and show you what it looks like behind. This is one side. Let me show you my other side. So you notice my two sides are very different, and your sides will also most likely be different. I will just honor that. All right. So we have a little work to do. So the top arm, that shoulder blade is going to move upward, moving that way away from your spine. And that right shoulder blade moves forward into the chest. It sort of lifts up. Your left shoulder blade, it moves that way as well. So it's moving towards the spine. It moves downward. And it also, the tip of the shoulder, the bottom of the shoulder blade, moves forward into the chest. Switch other side. Strap is now on your left shoulder. Left arm lifts. Catch your strap. Help it lift a little more. Reach the right arm out. Bring it behind you. Walk the hand up your strap. Start with your right shoulder blade. Move it downward towards your spine and in towards your chest. Moving to the right shoulder blade, left shoulder blade, sorry. And move it upward, away from the spine and in towards the chest. Both shoulder blades, the tips of your shoulder blades are here at the base of your shoulder blades. So you want those tips of your shoulder blades to move inward and upward, lifting the chest. And then slowly release. From there, let your arms just reach out to the sides. Bringing the arms forward, cross your right over your left and coming into the Garudasana arms or the eagle arms or eaglet arms, right? Or half eagle. Yeah? All right. So right arm on top if you're doing eaglet or full eagle. And then lifting your elbows just slightly. Draw your shoulder blades down your back. Move your forearms and elbows slightly forward and let your chin drop very gently and softly towards your chest. Breathe into your back body right between the shoulder blades. Spread it, expand it with your breath. And with each exhalation, let it release and soften. Inhale, exhale, slowly release the elbows down, spread the arms wide, give a little movement. This is our time to dance, right? All right, and then left elbow on top,
half eagle, remember? Eaglet or full eagle. Elbows lift. Shoulder blades descend. Elbows and forearms slightly forward. And your chin towards your chest. Root the feet downward. I forgot that, right? But you're doing it. I know you are. I feel it. I can feel it from over here in Jamestown. Gently breathe in to the space between your shoulder blades, expanding with each breath in and letting go of any tension or tightness with each breath out. I breathe in, I'm well. I breathe out, I'm at peace. Thank you, Terry. And then slowly release, stretch your arms out. Again, another perfect opportunity to do a little dance movement, right? Absolutely. So have fun. Have fun on your days off. We'll call it our days off, right? And so turn the music on and dance. Even if you're like me and you can't dance, do it anyway. It's really nice. All right, so, let's do a standing pose just because we have a few moments left. I did use up a little bit of our time, but let's take the feet wide apart now, okay? So maintain your strength while you have this valuable time to work on it, right? And a great way of strengthening your legs, which are powerful, is to do standing poses. So, but let's turn the left toes inward and the right leg completely outward. It's hard to talk and do it too, right? Y'all know I lose my balance really easy from the inner groin. And then check out your front foot alignment with the back foot. Your heel to arch, right? For the most part, sometimes that changes heel to heel. And then bend your knee. The right foot is the inner edge is lined up with the long edge of your mat. And then notice here, if you're already venturing out towards that bent knee, that puts too much pressure on the quadricep. So you want to bring the body back. So you're resting here. Right torso is over the pelvis, right over the pelvis, centered. And then maybe bend that knee a little more and stretch your arms wide. Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. Press down with the outer left heel. Keep that left thigh back. Externally rotate that right thigh bone so the knee goes that way behind you. Lift your heart, lift your low belly, and maybe take your gaze over your right fingertips. Inhale, press through your feet strongly. Come up. Turn your feet forward. Keep your arms extended, creating or strengthening your arms and shoulders. Hug your muscles to your bones for your bone density. Don't forget that. This helps to create endurance and stamina, that if you need to, always drop your arms. All right, other side. Turn your right heel out or turn your right toes in, we say. And then rotate that left leg and turn it out. Check out the alignment of your heel and back foot, either arch or heel, somewhere along there. And then the inner edge of your left foot is lined up with the long edge of your mat. Strong lift of the body. Remember to center your torso with your pelvis and then bend your knee. Yeah, strong arms. Reach out strongly through the fingertips. So this is called, I think I'm ready to stop this practice. And this is called, I'm going to get stronger, right? Reach down to that outer left heel. Keep that thigh back. Rotate the left thigh outward. Breathe in gently. Spread open the heart center. Take your gaze over your left fingertips. Inhale, straighten your left knee. Turn your feet forward. Hands to your pelvis. Step into the center for your mountain pose. Let's have a seat. Sitting either on your folded blanket, your bolster, legs straight like this in the Sukhasana.
One final twist. Inhale, exhale, twist to your right. Inhale, exhale, twist over to the left. And then set yourselves up for Shavasana. Be warm in your Shavasana pose. Be warm, be comfortable. So this is another wonderful thing about being at home. You have the comforts of being at home. You can put your legs up on your chair or couch. You can cover yourself up with your favorite blanket. You can have your favorite pillow under your head. So many benefits and joys from practicing at home. And your beautiful pet, whether it's a kitty cat or a doggy, can be there with you. You're also there maybe with a loved one or a friend that's staying with you at this time. So make yourselves comfortable. If your lights are on, maybe dim your lights or turn your lights down. I would like to read you this as you're drifting into your Shavasana pose. Now, these words come from my other teacher, T.S. Little. I want to share these words with you too. So he says, this is a time of ritual opening. The world knows what to do. The daffodils shoot upward. The insects hatch. Lizards crawl out of their dens. And the prayers. In the still moments, the soft prayers come. They pass over each of us like snippets of a new song or whispers of promise. We need only listen, attentive and true. Listen to what is calling you. Shed the skin of the old habit. Melt the fears or the fear that freezes. Trust each breath. Trust the cycle of becoming. Prepare for a great resurgence where greed and cruelty die 1,000 deaths. We want only to live in a kingdom of kindness. We are feeling today the sorrowful lives lost and too the immense possibility of renewal. Who knows the creative force behind this strange silent season? Get ready to emerge from this long, dark dormancy. The time is upon us for rising up, waking from this long, mute, insentient sleep. I breathe in, I'm well. I breathe out, I am at peace. Resting, Shavasana. I'll call you out in just a few moments. Allow your breath to move inward and your breath to move outward with ease. Bend your knees slowly, one at a time. Rock your knees a little gentle side to side. And then rock all the way over onto one of your sides. Using your arms as you press up very slowly, let your head be heavy as you look towards the earth. And then coming into a seated posture, bringing your hands together in front of your heart center. So thank you for joining this morning's gentle yoga with Triad Yoga. We really appreciate Triad Yoga, Carrie and Jerry, allowing these Zoom classes to enter your home and to enter our home as well. We really appreciate you so much, and I miss you all so terribly. But I'm going to unmute us after we namaste. Your bright, beautiful lights always shine. Namaste.